let me preface it. All right, so during this last conversation, we kind of tapped into the concept of America being the number one exporter slash producer of culture to the world. And part of the reason I said that was that because America is the superpower of the world, it has allowed it to become that,
See, now you
to
switched it.
position itself into that.
Now you switched it.
No, like it's a superpower. And why are they a superpower?
Well, you switched it because before you said because the military is the world's
So
superpower in the
America.
military.
So okay, so I'm going to preface it that way. So we had the discussion that America is the world superpower because of its military might.
Yeah.
And because we're that superpower, we have become the number one exporter of culture.
Okay, and then you said that if another country was to become the number one military in the world, like that they were feared
So
the way
not
that the
so
United States
not the
fears
number
them.
one military in the world. I think if another country becomes the number one superpower, and in order to do that, they're going to need a strong military. They'll probably have to be the biggest military. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm saying if they're the
the
strong,
strongest,
then you said that they would also become the culture exporter, the number
easily.
one
Yeah,
exporter of culture.
easily.
But I don't think those two things are connected.
I do think so.
I think that America, what like the culture has nothing to do like the the military. I understand what you mean by it because it allows us to have a level of freedom that other countries don't have. So
Hmm.
it's like and it allows us to grow and creatively and do shit that like women can't even work in other countries. They can't you can't even see their face unless they're in their house
Yeah.
type shit. And then here we have some of the biggest stars. Kim Kardashian is one of the most famous women, people in the world, not even just women, just
Hmm.
people. Period. So I get what you're saying, but I also think it's the same reason why that even if America isn't the number one military in the world, it's the people though. It's still like the jumble of people because America is number two or three.
But it's a jumble of people. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, why do many countries want to emulate America in some ways? And that's the reason why American cultures gets exported as much. It's like all the movies and everything we create is because of the concept of the American dream, the freedom, the ability to say and do what you want, like be able to live free. So other countries in the world want to have something like that also.
They
And
do.
that's how the culture starts to get exported. That's why they consume our culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, if another country becomes a number one superpower, now their culture, they're going to have influence over other countries. More and more countries are going to want to be allied with them because they're going to want to be on their good side, and their culture, their way of thinking, is what's going to start to become the norm based on who you're allied to.
Every country has their equivalent of a Hollywood or like their movie scene, but we don't watch like it's very rare that we watch other movies like the one thing that I've seen people have like an affinity with is like the Japanese movies, like the ninja movies, like the Bruce Lee's and all that kind of shit. That's the
Yeah,
one thing that I've seen people really like from another place. But
more
besides,
popularly back in the day.
yeah, and that was before, like that was some old shit.
Mhm.
But that's the only thing that I ever really seen people consume here, like that.
No, I
Like
understand
everybody
that.
is copying this like the Hollywood here. It's like we don't consume they shit. Everybody consume our shit.
Correct.
And then so
You're proving my point.
but I don't feel the same way about it as you do.
Because what I'm saying is, because of America being the power that it is, it allowed for this country to become as close to a true capitalist society as you can get.
Yeah.
And that capitalism has driven the creation of content that can be exported.
Yeah.
Okay. So if another country becomes as influential as America throughout the world, they would now very likely impose their views and their way of life into whoever they have an influence over. Little by little, they can start doing that. And it's not something that I'm saying is going to flick a switch and it's going to change in 2 days. It'll probably take decades, if not 100 years, for it to completely change, but it can change for sure.
I agree
I'm
with
not-
that
I'm
conclusion.
I'm willing to agree now. I'm gonna do some like my Googles and stuff, and I'm gonna look at like I what countries were the real major power type shit like pre America, because you figure like one of the European countries or one of the like
England,
Asian countries, huh?
Britain, literally.
But also like that's the hard part about it though is only like culture was just so different at the time, like in terms of the ability of that it can be exported at like how it is today. Because you figure at the time there was like ancient Rome was like the main thing, and then everybody's fighting in coliseums and shit, and like that was a culture. Like this is hundreds of years later, and we're still talking about this thing.
Yeah,
but it's just like I don't know. It's tough to see it because it's
but
just
I
the
think
way
we
that
can
the
even
media
talk about
works.
Britain.
Yeah.
Like right now, by America becoming freed from England,
Yeah.
became bigger than England, and now our culture influences the way they behave and do things in England.
I mean, I don't know that to be true, but
it is true. Like it's very true. Like
you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I ain't never
like they are hip hop. They consume our music. They consume our movies.
But they have their own versions of all of these things.
I understand that, but it essentially so hip hop culture is American culture. The original version of it.
Yeah.
It's influenced
in New York
by the American way of thinking and the American way of doing things. You know what I mean? So that's being influenced by then. What I'm saying is there was a point in time that we were influenced by England. And a lot of the things we did were influenced by England. Like you mentioned, a lot of the freaking towns in Philly are named after towns in
the streets
London.
Of Philly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that is part of your culture being taken places and migrated. And we talking in English.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, our shit, we turned it up. Our shit better, but yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, we still have the remnants of their culture lingering around. And that's what I'm saying. Like if another country, the way
I don't know that one, you I ain't gonna lie. You got like I see where your point is going, and you're right. But that last part, no, fuck that. Because English it's just a language. But we don't really have any of the other thing.
No, what do you mean? No, that's exactly the point. Why didn't we? Why didn't we make up a language?
Cheerio.
Why didn't we just make up a language?
Well, we came over with that shit. Like
exactly my point. So we still have an influence,
but we have our own slang. Like we didn't entirely change the language.
It is named after their country.
The language is he's making a valid point. I ain't gonna hold you. Like
hey, this was a good conversation though.
No, but that's what I'm saying. And then to say China becomes a superpower, I guarantee you, like right now, how many people want to speak English? They'd be like, nah, I'm probably gonna learn Mandarin. Because I want to be more aligned with now China being the superpower and being their grace and being their good side. That also means if you learn that language, now a lot of the stuff that was learned through English would start to get lost, and you're going to start being influenced by the culture from China.
I think it's just a little hard to like process it, like really,
kind of
like,
see it, like visualize
because
it.
I've lived in America, being the greatest country in the world. Go America.
But I don't mean it like it's something
left on the womb.
But I don't think it's something that will happen like day one, and it's like you flick a finger, you hit a switch, and it's like completely changes. Like
it's gonna take a long ass time.
Like it'll take time, and it'll be a change, and eventually over time you'll probably notice and be like, oh shit, like we really moved away from what we were. You know what I mean? Like we've shifted away from freaking Genghis Khan annihilating everyone. Everywhere he went, like we're very far.
Like, was it like 10% of the world? Is it 20% of the world? Was
of Asia, something like that? But a significant amount. But I think that could happen. I don't know. I think that's the type of stuff that sometimes we take for granted, and we fail to acknowledge that it is made possible by the fact that countries fear us. It sucks to say it out loud. But America is as safe and as calm as it is because of the military power. Because I guarantee you, if people didn't think America was safe, they wouldn't want to migrate here. If people didn't fear America, there would be other countries doing dumb shit. And America often intervenes, even more dumb shit that is happening throughout the world. And it just happens that we are aligned in some way with America's moral values, and we agree with it. But it can be another country. Like it all depends on from which lens you're looking at it.
Well, this was a good conversation. Let us know in the comment section how you guys feel about it. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe, man. Please hit the subscribe. We need that support, and share it with your friends. Let us know in the comment section if you guys want us to touch any particular topics or anything. This one was just a spark conversation, so try to do some more of these. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you.